Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
We leave our pleasant homesteads, we leave our smiling farms. At the first call of duty, we rush at once to arms. We rush at once to arms. To guard our coast we fly, for the land our mothers lived on bravely, to bleed or die. Up, boys, and quit your pleasure. Up, men, and quit your toil. The invader's foot must never be pressed upon our soil. Be pressed upon our soil, in which our fathers sleep. Their blessed graves our care boys most sacredly must keep. Twas in our brave old statement that first of all was sung, the thrilling song of freedom that through the land hath rung, that through the land hath rung, and will sound its notes once more, till our men and children shout from the mountain to the shore. Filled with tears, men, sweet tears of love and pride, as our wives and sweethearts bid us go meet whate'er betide. Go meet whate'er betide, and God our guide shall be, as we drive the foe before us and we rush to victory.
Okay, there we go. And we are joined by my new friend and favorite author, Matthew Holmes, Jenn, the homeschooling mom, and myself. There we go. Looks better, don't it? Today we are here to discuss Matthew's one of 7 books he's written, Hell in the Cell. Jenn and I have both read it within less than 5 days. That's how much we enjoyed it. So, Jenn, uh, once you ask a question of Matthew, then we'll let Matthew do some talking. We'll ask another question, and just kind of like do like a round rainbow, round whatever, round in a circle.
Yeah.
So you're on, Jen.
Or audio working.
So you're on, Jen.
Oh, now it's working, I think.
No, that's me.
Oh.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear her.
So I'll start while she works out the audio scenario on her end.
Okay.
Um, you know, like I said, when you and I were talking, and everyone refers to it as the green room. It's not a green room, but it's just the
Yeah.
back doors. But it is very seldom, and I mean, if you can see in the back there,
Oh, now I hear her.
we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh, okay, hang on.
Let me kick you out, and you come back in. There we go. There she is.
Hi.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
Jen, meet Matthew.
Hi, Matthew. I met you yesterday. I
Yeah.
was so excited to talk about your book, and now we get to do it online. So, um, what inspired you to write this book?
A few books actually inspired me. So, you've heard of the Kennedy brothers before. One of their books, The South Was Right, that was my inspiration, as well as Christ in
Oh,
the Camp.
wow, that's amazing. And how close are you related to the character in your book?
I'm descended from him.
Right. I love that. Are you like,
So,
um,
he's the Matthew Marshall. That would be my third great grandfather.
oh,
His
wow.
father, Richard William Marshall,
Mhm.
he is my fourth great grandfather. I've actually visited both their graves before in Southwest Virginia.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, when you just, I didn't have this on the roster, but I'm curious.
Yeah,
When you go to these places, even battlefields, do you like identify with it? Do you feel something in
I
your
do.
soul? You do. It's like you're there or you were in a past life.
For example, it was the year before last. I went to my hometown, Saltville, Virginia, the salt capital of the Confederacy.
Hmm.
And I went to the cemetery in town, right beside where Jeb Stuart's brother is buried. And
Wow.
right beside him is where my fourth great uncle is buried. His name, well, he was Private William Sanders, William Augustus Sanders. I mean, Augustus Ori Sanders. I got it wrong. Because he has a brother named William. So every one of his brothers enlisted except for the youngest brother, which I'm descended from. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
my father's side.
Oh, that's awesome. What message are you trying to get the readers to take away from your work?
Well, really, the only message I have in it is to honor your ancestors because without them, you would not exist.
Oh, that's powerful. That's good. I love it, and I love the way you wrote it. I told you last night, and I
Yeah,
was describing it to Randy that it feels. I love that it feels like you're right there. You don't ever say whether the characters are white or black. It doesn't matter. They're just Southern, and they're father and son. But the
yeah,
best part about it was that it was so real
mhm,
when they would talk to each other. And my favorite line is I think it's in chapter 7, but it's still near the front when the father's telling the son that he doesn't think they're fixing to win this conflict. I don't know how he said it perfectly, but I
Yeah.
quoted it. Go
Yes.
ahead.
So
But mhm.
a lot of Southerners during that time, they
Mhm.
were uncertain, even though their loyalty, of course, was with their state. They knew themselves they were outnumbered.
Oh, right. That's amazing. And what's really ironic about that is the son replies, "It's going to be okay, Dad." And what is funny about it is that he accidentally hit a Yankee officer with a ricocheted bullet. And I'm like, the dad doesn't know this, but that tension in the book is awesome because everything that happens is like I couldn't stop thinking, "Oh, buddy, that little guy, he's going to get caught." But
So,
he, yes,
interesting thing about that, usually if bullets did ricochet back then, some would actually be, they would actually go into each other. There was rare occurrences, but this actually happened once in Gettysburg, I think Antietam, and I think the other one was Manassas.
oh wow, wow, wow,
I've
wow.
also got pictures of. This is Matthew Marshall. He's in that book as well. I had his picture made, and I had his father. This is Private Richard Lee Marshall,
Oh wow.
and I have the records. This is him. This is his record right before he went to Point Lookout. That was his hospital record before he was captured.
That's
Well,
amazing.
this is Matthew Marshall's. That was when he enlisted in Stokes County. I've been preserving history because I feel if we don't remember who we came from, then we don't even know who we are.
Oh, that's good. And we don't know where we're going. That's good. It's such a good foundation. And I love how thorough you are and how you can prove everything. It's not like you made this up. This
Now,
is so.
this one, which he'll be receiving a copy of this in a few days.
Mhm.
This one is Blood in the Mountains. This is my fourth great grandfather, Private Nathaniel Matthew Holmes.
Wow.
And this is him and his wife. These are my fourth great grandparents.
Oh, wow.
You know, he's in an early Virginia state militia uniform. Why? Because he was in the Washington County Virginia militia, which I have his record too of that. Let me get that out. Oh, it's right here. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. And you've preserved everything so well. It's awesome.
It's been a challenge, but I'm doing everything I can to preserve mine because we live in a generation where they want to erase everything.
Wow, that's a really good point. No kidding.
Now, are you one of the kind of authors where you have this office and you have a desk, but everything is strewn everywhere? It's on the floor, it's on the desk, it's stacked up in the corners.
Yeah,
Are you organized?
not really. I will say this though, I don't necessarily have an office. I normally just write my notes on my phone, and that's about it. And
Wow.
I've
Uh,
preserved my family records through that. And right now, and this is I've done genealogy for a long time now on my families, and I've had, well, from what I've found, over at least 500 plus Confederate veterans, and they are from Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Missouri, and Arkansas, even South Carolina. I think I said Florida. And I do have a few on mom's side from Maryland.
okay.
Mm.
Um, I'm going to assume you back up your phone to the cloud in case something happens to it, right?
Yeah, well, that I've also got flash drives, so that helps a lot
Yeah.
too.
Before you came on, Jen, before we went live, I was talking to him about the his publishers. Um, and I'll let you tell him about the problems he has finding a publisher to produce his historical stories about his family.
Why? That this is
Well,
unreal.
it
Tell me.
had to do with my recent book called Chemtrails Over Dixieland.
Oh,
I released a book about weather modifications they are actually done by the United States military as bioweapons upon the South, so they can control them. And I had proof of it. I had all the patents and everything. I don't have a copy of it with me right now because I let a buddy of mine borrow it because he wanted to review it. And he told me the stuff I have in it is terrifying.
oh, I bet. My gosh. But it's true. I am so thankful and proud of you for writing it down so people would know.
What is strange about it, though, is what happened 3 days after I published it.
Oh,
3 days after I published that book, the Deep South had a record breaking historic blizzard.
Mhm.
wow. They're like, we're going to get you. Oh, that's crazy.
And I had so many people message me about that when they saw that. They told me, they said, dude, the timing is terrifying.
yeah, and so honest. It's crazy.
Well, you talk about that storm hitting after the fact. And it's sort of like uh,
I went a little bit far with that. I even released information about how Kamala Harris's husband had invested in the lithium mines and quartz mines there to confiscate land using eminent domain and kicking them out.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
that was brave.
So
Wow.
that alone, I've got publishing companies terrified because they're worried they'll get raided.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Along
Wow.
with
Is yes.
psychographic and maps in that I have that I've lived.
That's amazing. I love all of the history you have and the pictures that you put in your book. That's amazing. And when you do, you
I do myself. I don't
yeah.
AI. I make it all myself. Sometimes it can take hours.
Hmm.
Wow. I love the pictures of your face next to your ancestors. And I was, oh
That
my.
was a personal project I done for genealogy purposes
Mhm.
to show that my ancestors still live through me.
That's so cool. That
And
is really, really
when I
cool.
done it, I resemble about 99% of mine.
Yes, no kidding. That's amazing.
I know that seems to be a strong feature too, because I have clients who say to me that when I find pictures of their ancestors, they say they'll put their pictures next to that. It's,
Hmm.
we look alike. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are intermarrying
Yeah.
families, but you guys have a
Well,
very close resemblance to each other.
interesting thing you brought that up. I'm going to explain that.
Uh-oh, maybe I spoke too soon.
Stepping in it.
All
Yeah.
right. On my mom's side of the family, we are actually, I'm descended from the oldest family in America. The
Oh, wow.
Randolphs. My eighth great grandfather, Lieutenant Colonel William Randolph, he actually founded the Virginia House of Burgesses.
Okay.
Oh,
And
that's
so did
amazing.
on my mom's side as well. It's on Granny Bug's side. Because she was a Tugwell before she married a Keith. And of course, after the Revolutionary War, the name went from Tugwell to Tugwell. But
Okay.
before then, the Tugwells, they were all in the Virginia House of Burgesses.
Oh, wow.
So my
That's,
family actually founded the government which we live in today.
Hmm.
They put
so
in,
this is your fault. No, I'm kidding. Yes.
well, not necessarily our fault. Our
I
fault.
know.
The problem is, our problem started in, I want to say, 1861, with a tyrant known as Lincoln. And then our problems escalated by 1863 when he went against Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution, where a state can't be made within the borders of another state, and he made the illegal state of West Virginia.
Okay, okay, hold on. So I see some comments here. This one here, I think, is addressed to you, Matt. It says, "You know me, Matt," and the name next to the image is AZOOZ.
Yeah, sorry about that, bud. I can't see names the way it is. Only he can. But welcome aboard.
Okay, the other one here is Icy Kubi. Says, "Can you listen to Smith else just joking, laugh out loud? Can you listen?" So Icy Kubi has an image of like an ice face with a ice on it.
Hmm?
Let me see if I can take a picture of it. Hang on. Let's do it this way. I gotta just find it here. There.
Oh, oh, okay. Never mind. He's just joking around.
Well, but you know him, okay.
Yeah,
And then the other one is Son of Liberty 66, and he says the British bastards came and stole all our women.
yeah. My family, though, which y'all will see in my book that I'll be releasing probably next week. I'm in the final publishing stages of it right now, and that is The Road to Hell and Back. It's about my family, the Littons on my father's side, where they were sold as white slaves by the British Army.
Mm,
And I've got documents of it. I've got
wow.
letters that were actually proven to be authentic by the sons of the American Revolution and the daughters of the American Revolution.
Nice. Wow. That's amazing.
So
Um,
I do have this broadcast going out to YouTube, my Facebook page,
Yeah,
and like 7 groups. Some of them are the my genealogy group, Rebel Storm, the Carolina Gray Ghosts. It's going out to Southern Independence Association and several other Southern groups.
yeah, okay,
So, so I have a couple questions for you, my friend.
yeah.
Now, you have what I think what 6 or 7 books are published right now. You
Soon
got
to be, soon to be eight.
soon to be right, soon to be 8. Um, and several of them that you sent to me, and I thank you for that. And like I said, when I get them, I'll look over and I'll discuss with Jen, see which one's going to be our next book to review,
Mhm.
because Jen has signed on contracts to do like a bi-weekly, if possible,
I would love
bi-weekly
to.
show. It depends on how fast we can read. But uh, um, uh, how long does it? Okay, so first off, obviously you're gathering your information from your family's
Yes.
experience. So what makes you choose a particular person? Okay, and once you choose that particular person to write a book about, how long does it take from mind to hand to pencil or whatever to write it down? How long does it take you to write through a book?
Interesting question for that, and I'll explain. So, a big reason why I do it is honor. To
Is
honor.
what?
To honor.
Honor?
Right.
Okay.
Now, some of them can take up to a year. Some of
Wow.
them can take up to 7 months. Chemtrails over Dixieland took about 9 months.
Wow.
Now let's stop there for a second, because Jen and I both share a friend, Michael Anthony, who lives in Pittsburgh, and he's constantly talking about the chemtrails and what's going on with them. Um, what made you choose of everything that is about the South, about the war, and so forth? All of a sudden, you're doing a book about chemtrails, and you somehow incorporate it into your family history. How did that come about?
So, interesting question how you brought it up. While, yes, I covered up a little bit of part of mine, I built up my family's, how do I put it? My family's resistance against tyranny.
I think it's a Southern thing as general.
Well, yeah, but it adds up, though, to the Union's tyranny because they're still using bioweapons on their own
Yeah,
citizens.
that's true.
Wow.
Okay, so real quick, another person that's popped in, Teresa K.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Okay. Hi, Matthew. So nice to hear about our ancestors. Thank you for all your hard work and devotion, Teresa.
You're very welcome.
Teresa, so you know, if you haven't gotten his books yet, please do. Jen and I got we got the first book, Hell in the Cell. It is a very intriguing, very grabby kind of a storyline. The way it's
Yeah.
written. I also like the font. Okay, I'm old. Okay,
Hmm.
and the font the font is a couple numbers higher than what you would normally get in a book, so it
Yeah.
makes it easy for me to read. And it's like Jen said, uh, it just grabs you and brings you into the storyline, and it makes you almost like it almost to me. I don't know. I can't still speak to Jen, but to me, it was almost like I was there in the trenches with my rifle,
Hmm.
shooting at the enemy. That's how it pulls you into it. So, Teresa, if you haven't got your hands on one, I would say start with this one. And then Teresa, about every 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a broadcast like this on each of his consecutive books.
So, I do have one I'd recommend y'all to check out next y'all may like. This one.
Right, you mentioned about Blood in the Mountains.
That's my fourth great grandfather right there.
Wow.
Um, I even look like him if y'all think about it.
Yeah, you
I'm
do, you
very
do.
proud of that too.
You just got to shave the mustache off.
You have the
Yeah,
the chin, same
I'm,
chin.
I am working on though. Eventually, trying to get him a grave marker made.
Mm.
So
Wow.
during the Great Depression, his grave marker was lost.
What
His grave marker during the Great Depression was lost.
was lost?
Sometime down the road, I'm going to try and get him a cenotaph made in the family cemetery.
That's nice.
Now,
That's
okay,
great.
color me stupid here, but why must you go out of your way to get a tombstone or some kind of marker to commemorate your fallen ancestors in combat when they served their time? Doesn't the SCV or whatever the various Confederate organizations are, wouldn't they jump on the bandwagon to place another marker while they're fallen?
Problem with that is, while I love the SUV, don't get me wrong, there are so much that it's hard to track.
They're overwhelmed.
Okay.
And where they're having to do these legal battles with our monuments, etc., from these
Mm.
cultural Marxist morons, as I
I love it.
um, they have their hands full.
Yeah.
So you have people like me and the SIA and several others that, including John Hill, for example, of the AP Hill, Foundation. We're doing everything we can to preserve it before it's all lost.
Wow.
See, I know we're getting a little off track here on the book, but I think it's necessary for us to at least touch on it.
Yeah,
Um, I'm a member of the SIA, and I'm also I hold the rank of colonel in the Carolina Gray Ghosts. They love me so much that they know I'm a Yankee born, but I bleed South, and they love all the work that I've done for the South. So they brought me in as a communications officer and as a rank colonel. But Mindy of the SIA, she, in case you folks don't know, the SIA stands for Southern Independence Association.
Yes.
And as I understand it, their job is to try and peacefully secede the southern states using laws and various things like that.
Yes.
So she enlisted me to send emails out to all the senators and congressmen to try and get them on the bandwagon to peacefully secede from the North, because, excuse me, the North has not yet stopped the attack on the South.
No.
It's like Matthew was saying here. Um, you know what might be a good next project for you, Matthew, is something about all the statues and monuments and cemeteries and graves that have been dug up and destroyed.
That's a
You
planned
know,
book.
and
I've already got it planned. It's called Great.
It's a plan.
it's what?
It's already a planned book in my list. It's
Good,
called
good.
Great Tears. I've got 20 more planned.
Because President Trump, he loves the South, and he put back into laws. You know, if you destroy or deface any Southern monument or whatever, like a $10,000 fine plus years in prison.
Wow.
Plus, he put into motion the return of the one monument that was defaced and removed. That's coming back, I guess, in a year or so,
Yeah,
hopefully.
but the problem is, why one? Why not all?
Right, right. But you know, well, okay. So I actually, when I was enlisted in the CSA 2 for a short period of time until I got upset with them. But the CSA 2 is also an organization that tries to help. They're supposed to protect the statues and monuments and doing a very poor
Yeah.
job of it. Um, and the left reached out to all these contractors to give them the contract to go out there and destroy and remove these statues and monuments. And all but one person responded. And that person went out and destroyed dozens of these monuments that are made out of marble. And he actually took them back to his warehouses. And he's in the process of, I guess, melting them down, whatever, to reuse them. So they're gone to history. They're
I,
not. They're not
I,
coming back.
I give you my thoughts on that, but I don't feel it getting, your show canceled.
It makes you frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. So, personally, do you feel like the war between the North and the South is more about um, slavery or just about government overreach, which includes
So,
slavery?
good question. Government overreach, including something else. And what is that? An invasion.
Oh, wow.
So, for example, in Virginia, you actually had a peace convention that was actually for, so it was Southern leaders. They had met in Arlington in 1861, and there were some from the North that even attended it. But Lincoln refused to show up, and they didn't cross the Potomac River after that. And when the peace commission, that convention failed, there was war. It was immediately after that because Virginia tried to keep the peace. It
Yeah.
was the North that didn't want to negotiate. And as a result of that, that's where the Copperhead movement came into place. That's why California, even Southern California, even tried to secede and join the Confederacy.
Oh, wow.
I've actually got their Confederate secession flag. It was given me as a gift by the California SCV for preserving history.
Oh, wow. That's nice. Yeah. So, how do you feel about everyone saying, "Oh, but Abraham Lincoln, he passed the Emancipation Proclamation."
It, to me, and this is my feeling, okay?
Yes.
It don't mean a damn thing. It's just a piece of paper, and I'll explain that. All right, so you free slaves in Southern territory, but keep it in the North. You keep them in slavery in New Jersey in 1860 till 1866, you've killed your own ideology there. They
Oh,
were also in Maryland. They were in Kentucky, in the Unionist government there, including also Missouri. And you even had them in the Unionist occupied locations in the southern states of course, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Tennessee.
wow.
So, if the whole thing was about slavery, why did they make an illegal state into a Unionist slave state in 1863, which would be West Virginia, which
Mm.
directly violated the Constitution, where it says that a state cannot be made within the borders of a territory of another state without that state's permission?
Let me ask you this. When I was doing my broadcasts with Jen, we were talking to Morris Myers, who his second great grandfather, third great grandmother were slaves. And Morris Myers is actually involved with the Confederacy.
Yeah,
He
I've
uh,
talked to him.
Okay, so we did a really good broadcast with him. In the process of doing research on that, I showed this professor who was saying that even though the North made this big ballyhoo about slavery, they wanted it because they were making money off of the slave owners.
It's a little
Because
bit deeper than that. So, guess what else was one of the biggest slave owners at the time? They weren't white. There were black slave
oh
owners.
yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Right.
One of the biggest ones, actually, if I'm not mistaken, owned about 600 slaves, and he actually broke South Carolina state law by breeding them, and his name was William Ellison.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, also in that broadcast, I brought out about how the kings of the various African nations
Yeah,
realized how much money they could make, and the weapons they could get by taking their people and
yeah.
giving them to the captains of the slave ships.
And it gets worse than that. Some of them, even after the war between the states ceased to end, these free black folk, a lot of them, went to Liberia. What do you think they done? They enslaved the population there.
That's sad. It is so sad. We
It's
always,
bad, but it's ironic because it kills the entire narrative.
you're right.
I mean, they're beating the dead horse at this.
You know, Matthew, I have these flags are behind me. I got two in front of me. Were given to me from one of my clients. His name is Tom Vernon.
Hmm.
He gave it to me as a gift. Uh, my grandson, sons plural, won't talk to me because of that flag back there. Because the school taught them that means it stands for slavery.
That's because that school is run by a bunch of cultural Marxist retards.
Oh, okay.
So, Jen, before we came on, before I brought you on, Matthew and I were talking about some things that he's working on, and he's actually working on something that you and I just came off from with Suzanne Arcadio.
Oh,
I remembered her name. He's going to do something about sex slavery, right?
I've already done it. It's in,
Oh,
it's in chemtrails over Dixieland. Like I said, there
oh,
is.
it's in there. Okay, yeah.
And that's actually what got a lot of publishing companies scared of me is because there's sex trafficking maps in it across the U.S.
And guess what's in the back of the book, Jen?
what?
He has the list of the people who flew the plane going to Epstein Island.
Oh, stop. That's good for you. This is crazy. Well, we know why, but it is frustrating that it feels like they're holding it over our
I'll,
heads, like
I'll explain
taunting.
that. It's mental gymnastics. The reason why I do what I do, I'm a truth seeker. I want the truth out. They've persecuted my people. They've tried to culturally genocide
Right.
us. It's called karma.
Here it comes.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Matthew, didn't you also tell me in our conversations days past that there's different Southern organizations that are reaching out to you to present you with awards or acclamations for the work you're doing with the books?
Yes, one did. That would be which I think I have the coin over there still, but the SCV camp in California reached out to me. They also sent me a California Confederate secession flag.
Wow. Wow, wow, that's awesome.
What
My
about
friend, me and him were talking. His name's Zeb Frazier. He might join in this. He might be busy, but me and him actually share an ancestor from Virginia on the Littons. So we had that connection, and I showed him about how I've been writing my current book about how they were sold into white slavery with the
Wow.
documents. And yeah, me and him been talking about that. He told me he wants me to let him know as soon as it's out.
Awesome.
I was just going to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
It just went right out the head. Oh my! Maybe I'll bounce back in. Um, well, one thing you just mentioned that you're a truth. Oh, I know what's going to be. Uh, so far, it appears that at least with this book, it was all about North Carolina. So, have none of the organizations from North Carolina reached out to you saying thank you for?
Well,
Uh,
I've had the Tar Heel Flaggers thank me,
okay.
Oh,
run
wow.
by Cameron Swoop, a very
Hmm.
good buddy of mine. But
Awesome.
uh, believe it or not, the story about the Marshalls, how they came to Virginia, it's tragic.
Wow.
And they came to Virginia after their farm was burned by Unionists.
Mm.
So they had to relocate to Russell County using their pension.
Wow. It's
Now,
crazy.
but yes, I heard in your video that you told me I was from North Carolina. I chuckled at that because I'm from Virginia.
Oh,
I'm an eighth generation Southwest Virginia.
you should have corrected me.
I kind of didn't just because I've been very busy trying to get the final edits into the Road to Hell and Back, and I'm also trying to get another project finished too that me and my great aunt have been working on as a tribute to my grandfather. My
Oh,
mentor
wow.
died in 2015. It's called Arm of Faith, and when he got his arm cut off in
Oh,
1988 from a machine in a logging factory at the Virginia Furniture House, he prayed to God for a new arm, and he received blueprints that he said were from God, and he patented them. Which I think I sent you them, Jen.
Is it blueprints to
The Freedom Church. Yes,
I love that to
that's
make
it. Is
yeah. Yeah, I did see that. That was I think your family is amazing and I love how they're giving back the ones that yeah had lost. Now, is your uncle that lost his arm?
my grandfather,
grandfather,
That's
yeah.
your
my mom's
grandpa.
dad,
Okay, I see.
The reason why I guess the reason why I said North Carolina because the first book I read, you're talking about all your ancestors from North Carolina. So I guess kind of, and that's my bad.
well, all the
Suzanne Arcado is watching right now. Suzanne, thank you for joining
Hi,
us.
Suzanne.
If you didn't hear earlier, one of the books that Matthew is sending me called Chemtrails Over Dixie, he brings in about sex slavery. He also talks about Epstein. And in the back of his book, he has the list of all those who were on the plane going to Epstein Island.
He has a manifest. Oh my gosh, of the
Yes,
people on that
yes,
plane.
yes, yeah, he
That's
does.
that's amazing.
So this is goes to the second question I was going to ask you, and my
yeah,
memory elapsed. You said you were a truth seeker, and
mhm.
all the things that you're writing about, especially the chemtrails, the sex slavery, and so forth. This is probably a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Do you have concerns for your own personal safety writing these books?
No, because whatever happens, happens.
Oh wow.
Ooh, spoken like a true Southerner. And I'm probably sure you're a Second Amendment provider for yourself.
Well, I had a gun, but my dad kind of took it from me after I accidentally shot myself.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to talk about that.
But
Okay.
That's
do I
funny.
support the Second Amendment? Absolutely.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's an interesting story that I'll talk about another time.
Okay. Yeah. I don't. If you don't feel comfortable, then that's fine with me. We don't. We
Well,
don't.
it's kind of stupid in a way how it happened. But yeah, I'll just have to talk to you about that.
My dad was in the Air Force 22 years, and one of the things is he was involved with the Congo War, and he came home with a two-headed spear. But when he came home from the Vietnam War, I don't know how he was able to do it, but he brought home his bayonet, like
Yeah,
the blade like this big, and he kept it his car between the seat of the car and the frame of the car. And I said, Dad, why do you have that in the car? He said, well, you never know, I might need it. Well, I'm thinking to myself, by the time you reach down and grab that thing and pull it out of its sheath, you're dead anyways. But it
Right.
made him feel good. So let's see, I want to touch base on the book,
go
The
ahead.
Road to Hell and Back. So, Jen, I'm going to quick read a brief synopsis that he has of the book, okay? The Road to Hell and Back. It will be about my Revolutionary War ancestors who were sold as white slaves. They're known as the Littons of Washington County, Virginia, during the Revolutionary War. Captain Solomon Caleb Lipton Sr. He had a large bounty on his head for capturing a British officer in Washington County, Virginia. The British placed a large bounty on his head. As a result, he was captured at his home. The British broke into their home, captured his family, and sold them all into slavery. Once they were forced to walk over 300 miles to present day Canada and northern Michigan. They were held as slaves into the late 1780s. His grandsons enlisted in the Confederate Army in Russell County, Virginia, and Southwest Virginia. They both died as prisoners of war at Elmira, New York in 1864 1865. However, most of his cousins arrived back home to the mountains of Stonewest, Virginia after their service in the Confederate Army. So let me ask you this. The ones who were in Canada and northern Michigan, did they stay there or were they able to eventually go back to their
Well,
home state?
it was the mid 1780s, after the war had actually ended, that they actually did make their way back.
They
And
what?
they actually did come back to Virginia,
Okay.
but they had to have a special escort. And it was from the U.S. Army at the time, because this was, when the U.S. become independent.
Wow.
And they actually had a special army that came and got them. One of my uncles was born up there. He was born in captivity as a white slave,
Mm.
and that
Oh,
would be
wow.
John Whitley Lytton. And his son, he was in the War of 1812. So was his son, and then his son, my fifth great grandfather, was
Oh,
a
wow.
private in the Confederate Army. He was Private John Whitley Lytton III, and he was in the 16th Virginia Cavalry, Company A, and the Washington County Militia. So what's interesting about that is he got to serve in the same unit as his Revolutionary War ancestor.
Mm.
One of the things
Wow.
that I've come to realize doing people's genealogy is that the whole thought was for these folks to leave their home countries, England, Ireland,
Mhm.
Scotland, and so forth, to come to the New World because they wanted to escape a terrible king. They wanted to escape poverty and so forth. and come here to start a whole new life. I
Mine was
mean,
the opposite. Funny thing about that. So when the Protestant reformations happened in England, my family, the Wittens, Caleb Pollock Feld Witten, he's the senior of them. He left England and came to Maryland, and he was in the King's Royal Cavalry. And
Wow.
this was way before the Revolutionary War. This is even before Lord Dunmore's War. And then his grandson, which would be Solomon Caleb Lytton, he was in, of course, the Washington County Virginia militia. But he is actually the direct grandson of him. So actually, there's a little cenotaph of Caleb Pollock Feld Lytton's small plantation in Maryland. Funny thing about
Wow.
even though they had their slaves split up, my family let theirs go in the year of 1850. So think about this for a sec. They bring up all this all the time, right? Oh, Confederates were all slave owners. Why did my family release them 10 years before the war?
that's real quick. That's real neat that where she's watching from YouTube and it shows YouTube icons, so I know where she's watching from. That's cool. I'm sorry. Were you asking me a question? I'm sorry. I was distracted by Teresa.
Well, I was asking if y'all have any questions on that.
Oh, what do you think, Jen? I mean, you usually
And
have questions.
yeah, I'm wondering, you guys didn't have and they didn't your family did not have slaves, did they?
Not until they got rid of them in 1850.
I see. Now, did when they have slaves, were they more like indentured servants
Pretty
where
much.
they were taken care of and paid?
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
okay,
They were given small payments, but yes, they were paid.
okay. When we hear these terrible stories about slaves being whipped and used in the deep south, where is that? What are they talking about?
That is propaganda. And a lot of this happened, especially with the black slave owners. They were
Wow.
cruel to theirs because once they were free, they realized they could make money off of the others, and so they viewed them as worthless, etc., and they beat them.
My gosh. I can't stand that they were considered property. I mean, they're not like an ox, to have on your farm. They
Yeah,
are people. And the biggest thing that I hate about slavery is that, I mean, it stinks that it was in America, but it's like we don't talk about Brazil. Brazil had a lot of them, and they would have their black people sell their own
guess
black
who else
people.
did? On my dad's side, the Grogan family,
Oh,
they came from Barbados. Do you know what was special about Barbados?
no.
They was a colony that sold the Irish into slavery.
Oh, yeah.
And my family, the Grogans, came from there. And actually, his wife, before she actually married him, there was a home, she was a Grogan. Her name was Nancy Ann Grogan. And her father was a Confederate. But her great grandfather came from Barbados.
Mhm. Wow. No, the Irish, was that around the time that they were building the railroad? Like,
This was a little bit before.
it was before.
We're looking
Okay,
at 1700s all the way to early 1800s.
I see. Oh, wow.
Okay, we're coming up on the hour. Uh, we have a lot of good response from folks watching the various groups. YouTube was in the house. That's pretty cool. Um, and we have what I can see right now is about 30, 40 people who are watching, not making any kind of comments. Well, once the show ends, we'll probably get more of the
Yeah.
people picking up after the fact. Um, but Jen, any final words for our guest author?
No, I can't wait to read your next book. And I was going to say at the end, so do you have any more books? But you already said that, and I am
Got
just,
about 20 more planned ones. My
oh, that's
plan is I'm trying to preserve all of my Confederate ancestors, of my grandfathers and my uncles. That alone is a task because of finding such information. Some of that is there, and some is spread out.
wow. It's amazing. I love what you're doing. And do you have the books numbered? Like, do you think Hell in the Cell could be number one? Is that like
Right
breaking
now,
us into it?
right now, my biggest seller is
Mhm.
Chemtrails Over Dixieland
Okay.
because of what's in it.
Okay, so here's what I have. Let me share the screen here. Ba-ba-ba-boo.
Yeah, I make all my covers
Okay.
myself with AI.
Okay,
Oh,
so here we
good.
have this. Let's see if I can make this. There
So,
we go.
a little bit of an issue with that one. When Amazon kind of messed it up, I had a little problem with that. You know what that was? Amazon actually started doing pages
Say what?
where I had issues with Amazon with that one. It took out some pages.
Took
I
up.
lost pictures of family I had in it. And one thing that really hurt me on trying to get back is when it crashed. I lost my sources. It deleted them.
Oh shit.
And when I contacted them about that, they told me that it was glitching the system.
Do you think there was something in the content of the book that made them think twice, like racism or anti something or other?
I don't know, but I gave my thoughts on this situation.
Wow. What is this talking about the war that never ended?
So, interesting thing about that, I covered how all history is a lie. That book alone covers 400 years of American history.
Wow.
Hmm. That was one of the things I was trying to say earlier is that, you know, we have these people coming to the new world to escape starvation and so forth, only to wind up fighting in almost every war that we had. You know, a lot of the wars, you know, are not in the textbooks. They're like, you know, Indians attacking us, the British attacking us, the French, the Spanish, and
Yeah.
you know, all these things just to try and stay alive. You
But
know,
the thing is, my family didn't end up being killed by them, but they married them. So that's how I got pure blood.
so this one here is his newest book, folks. The Road to Hell and Back. And here's the one that he was talking about. And I think, Jen, this is going to be our next book to do a review on.
Yes.
He asked me, very excited to read this book.
So you say
Uh,
background on that?
I see like mountains here. Is there supposed to be like a mountain range?
That right there is actually one of the battles map.
Okay.
So I've actually his first photo. That was very difficult, especially working with colors. But that alone there, war that never ended. The reason why I talk about that is because I don't believe war between the States really ended. I believe it's to exist because federal killing is still going on. It was after
Yeah, I thought Jerry,
that you had
I
to
thought Jerry was being an idiot, telling Chucky how to rearrange it. Yeah, I thought Jerry.
Hold on a second. My cat jumped on my.
An idiot telling.
Hold on. My cat jumped on my iPad and started a message that no one is supposed to hear.
You're
Okay. Okay.
but I believe more actually and it is to exist, and I'll explain that. Because after 1865, you started having labor. You started having coal mining, especially in Appalachia. You had, of course, the Coal Creek War. You had Blair Mountain. You had the Pocahontas Gold Miners. You had Woody Harlan. And even as far as Colorado, at the one coal wars. And the U.S. military did there? They were shooting guns young children.
Yay. Sad.
It was during the coal mining that's where the term redneck came from, because the coal miners were actually serving dead Devils so the federals could not see the blood from them as they were shot at.
Wow.
This is the one that, Jen, I think, if we can convince Michael Anthony to be in on the show, I think he might get a kick out of this book here.
Yeah. Did you design that or take a picture?
I made
You what?
my own pictures.
Is that a picture of the sky?
Yes.
Oh.
And I even photoshopped the national to it.
That's wrong.
That one we already have. And the last image I have is Spirit of Vengeance.
This one. This is about the murder of my fourth uncle, Christian Miller III. And he was actually blind after an accident. And his son, he had all the small sons of the Confederate Army returned. And he was on the stage. This is actually a newspaper. That he was actually shot dead by a Union soldier. His name was Joseph Provost. And the locals were angry at this. So they hung Provost by his neck in Morgan County, West Virginia.
Wow.
And you know what happened? Why it's called Spirit of Vengeance? His sons re-enlisted.
Oh.
Karma. Here we go again.
Yep. Karma. Yep.
Wow.
I've got their documents of the re-enlistments.
Well, Matthew, our time is nigh, and this was a great show. We had some good interaction with some of the folks watching. Reached out to some of your friends and your cousin. That's cool. Suzanne Arcado is watching. She actually has me doing some stuff for her on the side as well. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think this show is one for the to be put into the on the shelf. One to go in the archives and to share out for a while, and until the next time we can meet.
All right.
So
I'll let you know when I release any more new ones.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to reading them.
Yes.
Take care, Matthew. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You
Bye.
too.
Okay, so Jen, this was a good show. Everything went well. Everything worked. The video, the
great.
audio. Suzanne was watching, and I'm glad that she was here. I can't wait to get my hands on that book that talks about Epstein and so forth. To see what all is inside there. For the folks, anything you want to say before I kick you out?
No, thank you so much for watching, and check this guy out. He's got really good information, and I love to learn from the past to teach us about the future. And this was great. Thanks, Randy.
Yep. Let's see. Teresa's last comment was, I plan to make all of Matthew's part of our family library. Great session. Excellent, Teresa. Thank you so much for supporting your cousin. You take care. So I'm going to kick you out. Jen, go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Hold on. Howdy, where's Matthew? He told me to be. He was. You missed him. He's been on for the past hour and 10 minutes. Take care. Zeus. Okay, and that is another show that went well. And I do want to say thank you to Azuz, a friend of Matthew's. We actually came on board here at 7 o'clock. We were out on my personal page, Randall Roads. We're on my genealogy page. We're on like 10 other Southern pages, the Rebel Storm, the Southern Independence Association, and on and on and on. Plus, we were on YouTube. And it was a great show. I want to say, folks, this is Randy of All Roads Lead on Genealogy and Colonel Randall Rhodes of the Carolina Grey Ghost saying, thank you for being here and great to see you, Dixie Brother. I'll be there next time. About 2 weeks, I'll be putting the banners out for the next session. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. See ya.